Hello students, now in previous video we have been seeing that how to draw the Hasse diagram, also how to find the maximal element, minimal element, lower bounds of any two elements in that diagram, greatest lower bound, also upper bounds of any two elements, least upper bound. These things we have been seen in Hasse diagram. So now from this again one more definition comes. So let us see that one. That is nothing but lattice. That is a lattice. So definition: a lattice is a posset. A lattice is a posset. You know, posset is denoted as such. Suppose L for the posset set in which every pair of elements has a least upper bound and greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound. Lattice, when does that posset will become lattice? If every pair of element has least upper bound and the greatest lower bound. So on a lattice L is equal, we have following well defined binary operations. On a lattice there are two binary operations. They are join and meet. So let us see what are they. The first one, A and B. This read as, in logic we say it as and, we are reading here it as A meet B. Denotes the greatest lower bound. Greatest lower bound of A and B. And the second binary operation is of OR, A or B. We read it as A join B. A join B denotes the least upper bound of A and B. Means this A join B, we are reading it as A join B in lattice. A join B denotes the least upper bound and A meet B denotes the greatest lower bound. So therefore lattice L along with the operations of which operations? These one, join and meet denoted as L join and what? Meet. This is a notation for lattice. Now let us see one example here. every pair should have a least upper bound and greatest lower bound, and A meet B is the greatest lower bound while A join B is the least upper bound. So example, we will show that D6 with divisibility relation is a lattice. Let us show it. Try to show this. Okay. So what is D6? D6 is the set of all divisors of 6. So 1, 2, 3 and 6 are the divisors of 6. So let us draw an Hasse diagram for this. Now for Hasse diagram, you know, now 1 is related to 2, 1 related to 3, 1 related to 6, 2 related to 6, 2 related to 2 itself. Every element is related to itself. Fine. In Hasse diagram we won't show it. So let me draw the Hasse diagram here. The Hasse diagram for D6. Hasse diagram for D6 with this relation is, what does that? Look at 1, I will keep it, minimal element is this, 2, 3 and 6. 2 also related to 6, 3 also related to 6. So they are at same position. Suppose 1, 2, 3 and what? 6. So 1 related to 3, 1 related to 2, 1 also related to 6, but from this transitivity. We won't show it, which will be as such. This is the one Hasse diagram for it. So now let us check for each pair, does it has a greatest lower bound and least upper bound exist or not. So let us check first of all the greatest lower bound for each A and B. So suppose we will consider 1 meet B. So 1 meet B. What is greatest lower bound of them? Greatest lower bound of these one will be what? 1. The lower bound for 1 and 2 is 1. And that will, greatest one is also 1. Now 1 meet 3. What does that also? That is also 1. 1 meet 6. 1 meet 6 is also what? 1. Now 2 meet 3. What is 2 meet 3? The greatest lower bound of 2 and 3 will be 1. And that, so it is the greatest one also. Now 2 meet 6. What about 2 meet 6? Greatest lower bound of 2 and 6 is 2. So 2 meet 6 is what? 2. Now what about 3 meet 6? 3 meet 6. The lower bound of 3 and 6 is 3. So 3 meet 6 is also 3. Now let us, these are what? The greatest lower bounds. Now let us check the upper bounds. Now 1 join 2. So it will be 2. 1 join 3, it will be 3. 1 join 6 will be 6. What about 2 join 3 will be 6. Now 2 join 6 is also 6 and 3 join 6 is also 6. So every pair in this D6 has a least upper bound as well as greatest lower bound. So this shows that this D6 with this divisibility relation is a lattice. I must write, since every pair of elements have least upper bound and greatest lower bound. Therefore D6 with this divisibility relation is a lattice. Is what? A lattice. Also, if you remember in previous video, we have seen the Hasse diagram for D42 divisibility relation. So, if you find the meet and join for each and every pair there also each pair has least upper bound and greatest lower bound. So that is also a lattice there. Now let us see some properties of a lattice from the definition of join and meet. So I must write the properties of lattices. Properties of lattices. So let us see the first theorem in this. Theorem first. Okay. So let us see the first theorem. Let, or if you won't give the name number to the theorem, it's okay. It is also okay. Let us see the theorem so that no need to remember the numbers. Fine. Simply remember the theorem, that is important. Let L less equal means it is a lattice. Be a lattice. If it is a lattice, it is a coset, and every pair of the elements in that one has a least upper bound as well as greatest lower bound. It is a lattice, and A, B, C belongs to L. Then the first thing, A less equal A join B, and or A related to A join B, and B related to A join B. A related to A join B, B related to A join B. So this implies A join B is the upper bound of A and B. So this is, or that is, let me say, that is A join B is an upper bound of A and B, is an upper bound of A and B. The second thing, if A related to C and B related to C, means C will become an upper bound. Yes, and that implies A join B also related to what? C. So this says A join B is the least upper bound, least among all upper bounds, all upper bounds. Already we have seen this is a definition of A join B, that it is least upper bound of A and B. Fine. The third thing is that A meet B related to A and A meet B related to B. That is, A meet B is a lower bound, of A and B. Okay. Then fourth one, if C related to A and C related to B. So this implies C related to A meet B. So what does it say? A meet B is the greatest among all lower bounds of A and B. So this theorem is nothing but the same definition of what A join B and A meet B again. Now using this, let us see the next theorem. Now there is no proof of this theorem because these are just definitions. These are given in different form just. Now let us see the next theorem. Now we have to see the proof of this theorem. The theorem says, let L with this relation be a lattice, okay. Then for every A and B in L, Then for every A and B in L, first thing, A join B is equal to B if and only if. This says if and only if. Already we have seen in logic. A less equal B. Second condition is that, second thing is that A mit B is equal to A if and only if A related to B. And the third thing is that A mit B is equal to A if and only if A join B is equal to B. So now let us prove this one by one. So now the first one, proof. Now here it is given to us A join B is equal to B if and only if A related to B. So we have to prove. First we will assume this is given. We are proving this. And converse if and only if. So both way implication. One implies P implies Q, Q implies P. So second time this is given to us, and from this we have to prove this. So first one, suppose A join B equal to B. This is given. Fine. Now we have to prove this relation. Now since A is related to A join B, just in previous theorem we have been seeing A join B is an upper bound of A as well as B. So A is A related to A join B, and that is equal to what? B. This is given, A join B is equal to B. So this implies A related to whom? B. Fine. Now conversely suppose that A related to B, also B related to B, the element related to itself. So A related to B, B related to B. So B will become upper bound for A as well as B. So this says B is an upper bound. B is an upper bound for A and B, but A join B is the least upper bound. Is the least upper bound. Therefore, what does this say? A join B related to whom? B. A join B related to B. Also, or A join B related to B. Let me write this in here. Also, you know, B related to A join B means it is an upper bound for B also. Fine. Therefore, from these two things we can say A join B is equal to what? B. This is a converse part and this is a direct part. So we have been proved both the things. Conversely is the reverse part and this is a direct part. Okay. Now let us see the proof of second one. Suppose similar thing is here also. Suppose A mit B is equal to A. Okay. Now since A equal to A mit B, you know this is related to whom? B, as it is a least or the lower bound for A as well as for B. So this says A related to B. This is the direct part. Fine. This is the direct part from this one. Now conversely, what is conversely? It is given. This thing is given. Let A related to B. Also A related to A. So here A will become a lower bound for A as well as B. So this says A is a lower bound A is a lower bound of A and B, but A mit B is the greatest lower bound, is the greatest lower bound. A mit B is the greatest lower bound. Therefore, A related to A mit B. Also, A mit B related to A. So, from these two, what can we say? A is equal to A mit B. This is the part. Fine. Now, the proof of third one, from 1 and 2, we can easily say 3. Look at here. A mit B is equal to A if and only if A join B is equal to B. Using 1 and 2, we can say that. So, simply I will write using 1 and 2, it follows, or from 1 and 2 it follows, from 1 and 2 it follows. Okay, this is about the theorem, this theorem. Now let us see the next one. Now again, for the next theorem, there is simply the statement. Next theorem. Let L be a lattice. Let L be a lattice. Then the first one, idempotent. Then let me write here, A, B, C belongs to L. Okay. Then first one, the idempotent laws. Idempotent laws. So what does they say? A join A is equal to A, and A mit A is also A. Second thing, commutative law. Commutative law. What does they say? A join B is same as B join A, and A mit B is same as B mit A. Third one is what? Associative law. What does they? A join B join C is same as A join B join C. Then A mit B mit C is same as A mit B mit C. Then fourth one, absorption law. Absorption law. So what are they? Look at here. A join A mit B is same as A, and A mit A join B is also what? A. Now no need to prove these one. If you are interested, you can go through the proof of this one, but the proofs are not required. These are, you have to use them in various other results. Now let us see the next theorem. Next theorem. Let L less equal be a lattice. Let A, B, C belongs to L. First one, if A related to B, then in that one, first one again, A join C also related to B join C. And the second one in that A meet C related to B meet C. Then second thing, A related to C and B related to C if and only if A join B related to C. Third thing, C related to A and C related to B if and only if C related to A meet B. Then fourth one, if A related to B and C related to D, then it says first one, A join C related to B join D, and the second one is that A meet C related to B meet D. So let us prove them one by one. Proof. Now the first one, let me prove the first one again. This is given A related to B. A related to B and we know B related to B join C. So by transitivity, so this implies, look at here, A related to B, B related to B join C. So A related to B join C. What is the reason? By transitivity. By transitivity. Okay. Then now also C related to B join C. So therefore what can we say? B join C is an upper bound. Is an upper bound for A and C. Therefore what can we say? A join C related to B join C. B join C will become upper bound for A as well as C. So, but A join C is the least upper bound. So, this is related to this one. Now, the second thing is that what? This A meet C related to B meet C. We know A meet C related to A and A related to B. So this implies, look at here, again transitivity, one related to second, second related to third. So A meet C related to whom? B, again by transitivity. Transitivity, fine. Now then also what can we say? Also A meet C related to whom? C, as this is the lower bound for A as well as for C. So from these two things what can we say? A meet C is a lower bound. Is a lower bound for B and C. Therefore A meet C related to B meet C, because B meet C is the greatest lower bound. So these are related. Fine. These are the proofs of first one. Now second one, what the second says? Suppose A related to C, given to us, B related to C and B also related to C. So what does this say? Then C will become an upper bound of A and B. C is an upper bound. C is an upper bound for A and B. Therefore, what can we say? A join B is least upper bound for, but A join B is least upper bound for A and B. So this implies A join B related to whom? C. Fine. This is a direct one. Now conversely, conversely, let A join B related to C. This part is given and we have to prove this related to C. Now we know A related to A join B and even A join B related to C. So this says A related to C by transitivity. By transitivity. Similarly, what can we say? B related to A join B and A join B related to C. So this says B related to C. This is also by transitivity. So this is proved. Conversely, this is given to us and we have been proved A related to C, B also related to C. Now, very similarly, you can prove the third part also. Now the proof of third one. What is given to us? Suppose C related to A and C related to B. Then C is a lower bound of A and B. But you know A meet B is the greatest lower bound of A and B. So this implies C related to A meet B. Fine. Now conversely, what can we say? Let C related to A meet B. Fine. Also, or now A meet B related to whom? Or let me write first this. C related to A meet B and you know it is the greatest lower bound. So A meet B related to whom? A. So this says C related to whom? A. Again by transitivity. Okay. And C related to A meet B and A meet B also related to whom? B. So this implies C related to B. This is also by transitivity. So this is the proof of third one. Now let us prove the fourth one. What the fourth says? If A related to B, C related to D, then these two we have to prove. Fine. So first one in that, now A related to B and B related to whom? B join B. You know it is a least upper bound for B as well as for D. So this implies A related to B join B. Also C related to D and we know D related to B join D. So this implies C related to B join D. So B join D will become upper bound for whom? A as well as for C. So from this we can say A join C related to B join D. So or therefore B join D is an upper bound. For A and C. This implies A join C, because A join C is what? The least upper bound related to whom? B join D. Now let us prove the next one, another one. What does that? Second one, A meet C related to A and A related to whom? B, and I must write in detail, sorry, and A related to B. So this implies A meet C related to whom? B by transitivity. By transitivity. Here we should write the reason by transitivity. Okay. Now also what can I say? A meet C related to C and C related to whom? D. Sorry, here I must write and C related to D. So this implies what? A meet C related to whom? D. This is also by transitivity. I forgot to write the reasons here. You should write them. Now here from these two, look at this. Just like here. From this what can we say? A meet C is a lower bound for B as well as D. Therefore, A meet C is a lower bound. Is a lower bound for B and D. So this says A meet C related to whom? B meet D, as it is the greatest lower bound. Fine. So this is about the proofs of these one. Now in next video we will see there are some special types of lattices and examples on them. Thank you.